have a single button where they can press like a stun onto Kha'Zix LeBlanc and then connect with all their CC from there. I'm a bit worried for JDG.
Looking for a potential execute. Gonna have to get under this tier 3, trying to buy as many seconds as possible, and it should be, no, it's first blood. Picked up here before Xiaoxu arrives. Needlework not going to connect. Almost the third one. Not enough to take Xun down. He's in a very bad spot. Should most likely go down. HongQ taking tower aggro though, and Bin's hit Mega, and Xun will not go. He's still alive. Finally, Xiaoxu goes forward with the snip, but he makes it a 1-for-1, and it should be more after that, with Knight finally being able to arrive to the play. It's 3-1 now on the scoreboard for Bilibili Gaming, and they could make it a little bit more. Bin jumping over the wall, taking Xiaoxu. Can't say that that means much, though, given the way the rest of this series has gone, although we do like the way the composition functions a little bit more than we did in Game 3.
Yeah, I don't think that we're in a position where we get disastrously outscaled here as BLG, as HongQ. He's going to spot Xun.
Oh, sure. He's going to flash in. Did not realize that was enough damage.
But the bot lane's kind of going in favor of JDG anyway. So I think Xun picking up what he is off this play. Big win for BLG.
Now maybe Xiaoxu going to be the target as Bin is now Mega. Waiting for this wave to crash in. Xun opting out of the dive instead, allowing Bin to do most of the heavy lifting himself. JDG have done a good job responding to any of the pressure that their opposition has brought towards them. As I say that though, Bin goes forward, lands the Mega Gnar to send Xiaoxu back, and On is immediately there with the Solar Flare. And Xun from downtown will snipe him down. So count even at 1. BLG looking good here in Game 4. They're trying to force that decider, keep themselves in the running for that first spot from the LPL at first stand, happening in Brazil. Just a sentiment at the very least, as looks like Bin now is going to get targeted by a gank from JunJia, but does a lot of damage back onto Xiaoxu and has the decent movement speed from the Hyperprocs. Flashes away from that final Q, and in comes Xun to turn the tides. That's one on to Xiaoxu, a second onto JunJia, sure to follow. Knight's the one to secure it, and BLG are running the table in Game 4. HongQ jumps over with the Blast Cone, looking to try to find at least the wave to make sure this tower doesn't go down.
Yeah, they want the brick. Vampire will get a bit of a chunk down here on the Bin, but that big shield will keep him healthy. And that attempt from JDG wasn't as close as I was hoping as it would be, Grapes. I want to give Bin a little bit of credit. Had some really good clicks to get out of the sweet spots of Aatrox. Kind of game JunJia on the Q entering the fight with some of the clicks that he had. But that I would constitute that as a rather poor effort from JDG, which is too bad because they've had a lot of good efforts throughout this series. That one just, that wasn't one of them. And this game seems to be spiraling a little bit.
They were very eager to try to force something onto Bin. You know, the typical signs, hey, he's mini Gnar, let's go for something. But he's still pretty strong as mini Gnar, and this is Bin's Gnar that we're talking about as well. Not to mention Xun coming in, getting a kill, number 4 on the game. Nice hook, though, is going to connect onto Knight. Vampire gets a big shutdown over to HongQ. And that's much needed.
Thresh should be feared in the league. Thresh is a champ where you can really demonstrate player skill. Vampire doing a good job of that. I'm talking through that one. He was dead.
As GALA tasted Xun's fear right there. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
More like
I see him at first stand.
I mean, I was kind of worried when I saw the Kha'Zix locked in that we might see a Gwen jungle. I mean, to be fair to JDG, I don't think they can really contest this dragon. And this is not a dragon that I'd sign up to die on a hill for. So maybe looking at Bin was the wise choice. That said, Bin going to play his way out of it. A-okay. So Bin bases, navigates the gank. A little bit more goals going over the Gwen. But it is the Evolved Claws ripping through that dragon for BLG and Xun as they pick up their second dragon of the game. Vampire. Ooh, guess wrong.
Yeah, Knight's going to go forward as well with the Mimic. Take him down again.
Yep.
Knight's LeBlanc reigning supreme here in this Game 4 as BLG really put in their pedal to the metal.
I mean, JunJia doesn't have access to his camps anymore as... Oh, that's a bold play.
Blast Cone, no ulti this time, and that means that JunJia's going to go down. So a great fight, I guess. HongQ's looking for some sort of trade, but not going to happen. BLG, I think we can definitively say this, very ahead in this one.
I'd say a 9k gold lead is better than a 7k gold lead, and we're not stopping there. As Geraldo Rift Terra gonna save her charge for the inhibitor turret. See if anyone from BLG wants
the test that Knight's gonna have to face. A challenger has approached. So far, that challenger has gotten the best of him, but not in the most important of games, that being here in the postseason. So Knight looking to take BLG all the way to 5 here, has been alongside a downtown snipe from Viper, is able to get a kill on a Vampire, and now On is looking for more on the JunJia. Satchel sends JunJia back, and that will be 2-0 once again.
You know, I feel like JDG deserves a wee bit of grief for this draft, Grapes. I was not a fan of the H-Rocks coming in later on. Hasn't looked great. I think it's been a bit of JunJia fell behind early. A couple oopsies. That didn't help, but also was really looking for hard CC. Been a lack of that.
Battle here between our 2 mid laners. One, of course, more of a legacy here in the LPL.
JunJia was getting the best of Shun and probably the MVP of the series throughout the first 3 games. I don't want to say I expected the matchup to go like this, to be this Shun favored, but I was expecting the jungle matchup to be a little bit BLG favored in this series. So yeah, it's been a bit of a roughie this game for JunJia.
Yeah, guess what? No, you can't outsmite your opponent if you're never set up to even get into position to steal away.
You know, that
your objective
might have been
BLG
the
have not let them do
Kazakhs.
that at all.
That was frankly is refreshing from my perspective, because this team has frustrated me at times, playing a little bit too fast, getting ahead of their britches, ahead of their skates, and tripping up over themselves at points.
So
and I don't want to see that. I would like a game 5 tonight, Grapes. This series has been fun.
Oh, Knight
By GALA.
goes in, and GALA is just deleted. There's a double kill again for Shun, who's having his way with his old team, going for Vampire next, a triple kill for the Bug. Baron might not even be needed, as it's a 5v2 now for BLG. They're going to run right down the mid lane. They're going to break open this inhibitor, and they could even look for more.
Yeah, let's get us out of here. Let's get into this game 5, Grapes. It's been a fun series so far tonight. BLG not going to throw this lead. Really good game from Shun, punishing JunJia, playing too fast, too early, as BLG take a very dominant game 4 victory.
There is no wave right now. They're going to have to wait for this next one to be escorted in. 10 seconds on JunJia, but it should not matter. BLG, with the most dominant win that we've seen all day against JD Gaming, are going to send us to game number 5. Because between these 2 teams, there was no other way for it to go down. Respawns have come through, but the Nexus is gone.